Breaking news, everyone. What I'm about to share with you could easily be one of the most important updates you'll hear this month, especially if you're holding Shiba Inu or thinking about increasing your position. This moment might truly be the last major chance to double down before things shift dramatically. Satoshi Kusama, the lead figure guiding the Shiba Inu ecosystem, has just taken a massive step, one that could alter Shib's trajectory in a very real way. So without dragging this out any longer, let's dive straight into everything happening right now in the world of Shiba Inu. Before we get into the heart of this update, remember that none of this is financial advice. Always do your own research, make decisions based on your own risk tolerance, and never invest more than you can afford to lose. Shiba Inu is currently experiencing the longest period in its history where the token has not managed to delete any zeros from its price. Since the project's launch in August 2020, SHIB has always had phases where momentum carried it upward. But right now, SHIB continues to trade with 5 trailing zeros, and this has remained the case for roughly 6 straight months across multiple price charts. Investors who are hoping for some explosive upside are watching closely, waiting for that long-anticipated moment when SHIB begins burning through those zeros to eventually reach its dream milestone, 1 cent. But the uncomfortable truth is that the opposite of what many investors hoped for has been happening. Shiba Inu once held 4 trailing zeros, up through May 6, 2023. But just a day later, on May 7th, the token slipped back to 5 zeros. There was a brief moment in mid-August where SHIB touched 4 zeros again, but it didn't last. Since May 7th, it has now been over 180 days since Shiba Inu successfully removed a zero from its price. This is the longest struggle the token has ever faced when it comes to upward price momentum. Even the long-awaited launch of Shibarium, the ecosystem's Layer 2 scaling network, wasn't enough to trigger a major rally. Many analysts believe that the delays leading up to Shibarium's release played a role in decreasing hype and reducing investor excitement. When a community waits too long for a highly anticipated development, sometimes the emotional momentum fades before the product arrives. However, despite this period of stagnation, there truly is a positive side emerging, one that might actually be more important than a temporary price push. The Shiba Inu leadership is taking an extremely proactive approach to expanding awareness around the ecosystem. They're doing something new, something bold, and something that could transform Shib's global visibility. In an effort to unite media presence and energize the community, the Shiba Inu team has officially reached out to influencers and content creators across the world. Crypto projects often succeed or fail based on community strength, and Shiba Inu is a perfect example of a project that rose to global prominence because of the people who rallied behind it. Now, the team wants to take that organic power and turn it into an organized force. Over this past weekend, Satoshi Kusama made a public invitation for Shiba Inu-themed influencers to connect directly with the official Shiba Inu development team. In his message, Satoshi addressed the challenges of coordinating a massive global influencer group, especially when working on a decentralized project where hierarchy doesn't function the way it does in traditional companies. But even with those challenges, he emphasized how important it is for Shiba Inu's ecosystem to unify all of its incredible influencers under one shared mission: to reach, inspire, and attract new participants to the Shiba Inu world. What makes this initiative interesting is that Satoshi didn't just call out the big names or the major accounts. He also acknowledged what he called shadow cats, referring to smaller influencers or those who may support Shiba Inu quietly, without posting about it constantly. These creators are also encouraged to step forward, verify that they operate a Shiba-themed account, and join the movement. The goal is to blend together all corners of the community, from the big voices to the hidden ones. This public invitation has already drawn in several well-known figures from the Shiba Inu community. At the same time, it has sparked a wave of speculation regarding what the team could be planning behind the scenes. Satoshi's mysterious words, "It's time," have people buzzing. What exactly is it time for? A major announcement? A system upgrade? A new use case? A marketing expansion? No one knows for sure, but the excitement is definitely building. While waiting for new details, the community is preparing for what might be a series of announcements. Satoshi himself said that more details would be revealed very soon. Considering how secretive the development team tends to be, statements like this usually aren't random. they're intentional clues that something big is on the horizon. And that leads to the question everyone keeps asking. Is Shiba Inu finally gearing up to crush its zeros and push toward that 1-cent dream? Clearing zeros requires more than just hype. It requires sustained bull cycles. But if we look at Shiba Inu's price history, deleting zeros is something SHIB has done before. Back in 2020 and 2021, SHIB removed multiple zeros, climbing thousands of percentage points and becoming one of the most talked about tokens in the world. After nearly 5 months of negative momentum following Bitcoin's crash in May 2021, SHIB surged back harder than most expected. Now, some analysts believe the groundwork is being prepared for something similar. Crypto and stock market analyst dogecoin is among the most vocal believers that Shiba Inu will eventually reach the 1-cent milestone. According to him, this achievement could come sooner than many expect, if SHIB manages to ride through several more bullish waves. If that happens, he believes Shiba Inu could produce gains comparable to Dogecoin's legendary rise. dogecoin is so confident in Shib's potential that he has officially trademarked the phrases 1-cent dream and the hashtag 1-cent dream. His goal is to make this phrase a powerful symbol of belief within the Shiba Inu community. He explained his reasoning on Twitter, saying that he understands the global flow of money at a macroeconomic level, and that the idea of SHIB hitting 1 cent isn't as impossible as many people assume. He also referenced a famous lyric from John Lennon, stating, "You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one." The phrase 1-cent dream is quickly spreading across the Shiba Inu community, with thousands of investors embracing it as a symbol of financial hope. Shiba Inu remains one of the most emotionally resonant cryptocurrencies in the world, capturing the imagination of everyday investors and crypto enthusiasts alike. And with the latest comments from the Shiba Inu leadership, many are feeling more optimistic than they have in months. But the bullish sentiment doesn't stop there. Whale activity has surged dramatically. In the past 24 hours alone, large Shiba Inu transactions have skyrocketed by an incredible 420%. Blockchain analytics platform Into the Block reported that transactions worth over $100,000 totaled more than $33 million. In that same time frame, more than 4 trillion SHIB tokens exchanged hands. Overall daily transactions reached a staggering 5 trillion tokens. One of the most impactful transactions involved the movement of 4.4 trillion SHIB tokens, worth around $36 million, from one anonymous wallet to another. This transfer happened within a newly created wallet that has only 2 recorded transactions as of now. Moves like this are rarely accidental. Major players often reposition funds ahead of market shifts or in preparation for a new wave of ecosystem activity. All of this heavy movement aligns with a noticeable increase in Shib's price action, suggesting that a breakout may be forming after a period of tight consolidation lasting over 10 days. This marks the strongest price level SHIB has seen since late August, around the time the Shibarium network launched. The timing of this new surge is interesting and might indicate something much larger taking form beneath the surface. As traders watch in anticipation, SHIB continues to prove that it remains one of the most dynamic digital assets in the crypto world. Every major wave of activity points toward a growing sense of readiness among investors and whales alike. Now, before we wrap up, there's another important topic we need to revisit: Shiba Inu's decentralized nature. This is something many people misunderstand. Recently, Shibburn, the popular community-driven SHIB burn tracker, made a public statement clarifying these misconceptions. They emphasized that Shiba Inu is fully decentralized. No single person or authority controls the token, and all ownership was renounced long ago. They encouraged people to view SHIB as a decentralized asset, similar in nature to gold, something that operates without a central owner or authority. Their goal was not to spread fear or division but to remind the community of what decentralization really means. They stressed the importance of separating the SHIB token from the broader Shiba Inu ecosystem. SHIB itself is ownerless, whereas the ecosystem contains various teams, developers, and community contributors. So, with everything happening, from Shytoshi's influencer unification movement to the sudden spike in whale transactions, the big question now is simple. Is Shiba Inu preparing for its next explosive moment, or will investors need to wait a little longer? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave your opinion in the comments below. And with that, we wrap up today's update.